This is a stewardship moment. I am Cathy Nicholson, a steadfast parishioner of St. Peter's for 42 years. As backdrop, I grew up an Episcopalian in Westfield, Mass., where my grandmother taught me how to use the prayer book, and the Church of the Atonement was a focus of my family's lives. Tom and I were married there. When we moved to Weston from Ohio in 1978, we joined St. Peter's, where we raised our 3 children. Once they flew the coop, Tom returned to his congregational roots, but I could not leave my deep Anglican roots and spiritual home, whose community means so much to me. So, how has St. Peter's been a source of light in my life all these years? I will give you a few examples that stand out for me. Not long after we moved here, St. Peter's committed to sponsoring and settling a Vietnamese refugee family of 6. We housed them in our church classrooms until a parishioner offered her rental home. Members of all ages pitched in to meet the Nuan's many needs, from clothing, bicycles, and lessons in English, to medical and social services appointments, to schooling and employment. I will never forget the Father Lapsoy's comment when I drove him home from the hospital after his 5th child, Keat, was born. He named each of his 4 children as Vietnamese, but Keat, he said, was an American. He was so proud. They eventually settled in Waltham. Their children are grown, though one sadly passed away from heart problems, and I still hear from them every Christmas. The intercultural outreach experience was a light that shined on us all, and was for me a beautiful way to know our St. Peter's community. Another source of light from St. Peter's occurred for me in the early 1990s, when St. Peter's minister David Van Dusen co-hosted an authentic Seder Passover meal with the rabbi of Temple Shur Tikva on Maundy Thursday. The parish hall was packed, as our Sunday school children had each invited a Jewish friend's family to come. My daughter Cathy loved showing her friend Joelle around her parish home, where she practiced in the choir, went to church school, and worshiped. The Weston Interfaith Action Group had recently been founded by my mentor Polly Dixon, me, and other Christian and Jewish friends in the community for the purpose of learning about each other's traditions. We AG members, alongside St. Peter's members, prepared the Seder meal as we learned how to make matzo balls, chicken soup, and haroset. It was a wonderful interfaith experience as the Haggadah was recited by various people of both faiths. Afterwards, we went into the church where our Jewish friends observed our Maundy Thursday service. One more outreach example that shined St. Peter's light for me was when I was outreach commissioner on the vestry later in the 1990s and headed our effort to provide a monthly meal for Rosie's Place, a shelter and place of advocacy for homeless women in Boston. Our parishioners' families made cupcakes, many others contributed to buying the food, and an army of us prepared the chicken dinner together in St. Peter's kitchen before the McMullen boys delivered it. Community spirit was strong as we cooked for Rosie's guests each month and got to really know one another. St. Peter's also shined a bright light for me when 10 of us took the 4-year Education for Ministry course led by Mercer Reese. We were enriched by our learning, our worship, and our friendships. 3 of us who loved to fly fish spent many ensuing years catching trout together in the Catskills, a spiritual experience in itself. Finally, I will always be grateful for the healing light members of St. Peter's shined on my family and me when our daughter Katie was hospitalized with Kawasaki disease and later when I was diagnosed with cancer. Prayers, meals, and heartfelt visits all meant so much. In conclusion, I believe it is essential to the well-being of our faith community that we give to St. Peter's not only of ourselves, but also of our resources during this annual stewardship time of commitment, so that the light we cast can be bright when we take care of each other, of our church building and wonderful staff, of our worship and programs, and of others in need. Watch has people on the edge of eviction. St. Stephen's has children struggling to learn. COVID has created a frightening darkness. We need to hold fast to our faith and each shine a light as able, so that together we love our God and our neighbor with gratitude and joy. Thank you, and God bless.